Be careful before buying a ready-to-move property. One mistake can trap your entire life's savings. Imagine a family pooling their savings after years of hard work. By restraining EMIs, rent, children's fees, household expenses, and small desires, they nurture one dream: their own home. Looking at an under-construction project feels scary because many people invested money but didn't get possession for years. Then, a ready-to-move flat appears. The house is built, the walls are ready, the balcony is visible, the lift is working, and people are living in the society. The buyer thinks, this is the only safe option: give the money and take the house. But the real fear starts here, because a ready-to-move property might look ready on the outside, but its papers could be incomplete. The owner could be someone else. A bank loan could be outstanding, the OC could be fake, the building could be built differently from the approved plan, and there could be a major dispute going on in the maintenance society. The curiosity is, if the house is built right in front of your eyes, how can a buyer still fall into a trap? The biggest attraction of a ready-to-move property is that the buyer doesn't see vacant land or a promise, but a built house. You can go into the flat and see the rooms, see the sunlight, see the view from the balcony, see the condition of the walls, see the parking, and see the lift and security. There is a fear of delay in an under-construction property, but ready-to-move property offers the confidence of immediate possession. However, the truth of the property market is that a home doesn't become safe just by looking at a built structure. Real safety comes from investigating documents, ownership, approvals, dues, and construction quality. The very first check is of the title. Title means who the legal owner of the property is and whether they have the right to sell it. In many fraud cases, the person showing the house claims to be the owner, but the registry record says something else. Sometimes the property is inherited, and the consent of all legal heirs is not there. Sometimes the seller only has an agreement, not a registered sale deed. Sometimes an attempt is made to sell on the basis of a power of attorney. Therefore, the buyer should cross-check the seller's name, property details, and the ownership chain from the sub-registrar office or revenue records. Property due diligence guides also consider a clear title, previous sale deeds, mother deed, and seller identity verification as the first step. A title search is not just the task of looking at a paper. It is like reading the entire story of the property. Who was the first owner? Then to whom was it sold? Then through which document did the ownership reach the current seller? Is there any gap, any dispute, any court case, any claim by a legal heir? Many times the property looks clean from the outside, but there is a missing link in the ownership chain. This very missing link can later place the buyer between courts, police, and legal notices. Therefore, it is very wise to get a title verification done by an experienced property lawyer at a small cost. The second essential check is the Encumbrance Certificate, or EC. In simple language, an EC tells whether there is any loan, charge, mortgage, or legal liability on the property. Suppose the seller has taken a loan by mortgaging the property with a bank. He is showing you the flat, making a deal, taking an advance, but the bank's charge is still on the property. If the buyer purchases without seeing the EC, the bank can later claim the property for its recovery. Therefore, it is necessary to get the latest EC and ensure the coverage period is correct. In property document checklists, the Encumbrance Certificate is considered a key document to verify loans and legal charges. The third big precaution is the Occupancy Certificate and Completion Certificate. A ready-to-move flat doesn't just mean that the building is built and people have started living there. Legally, it is essential to see whether the local authority has considered the building complete according to the approved plan and safety norms. A completion certificate states that the construction was completed according to the approved plan and norms, while an occupancy certificate states that the building is fit for habitation. Many real estate guides consider OC and CC as crucial documents in a ready-to-move purchase. The importance of an OC is very high, because living in a building without a valid OC can create problems in the future with municipal, electricity and water connections, resale and loan approvals. Many times a builder says the OC is in process, you take possession. This line can be very dangerous. If the OC is not obtained later, the buyer's money can get stuck. In some projects there is a partial OC, meaning not the entire society, but only certain towers or floors are approved. The buyer should clearly see whether the flat they are buying falls within that approved portion. Recent news also shows that fraud and confusion regarding OC and CC are real problems. In Maharashtra, RERA started a statewide verification of occupancy certificates uploaded by developers because cases of fake documents and illegal buildings had affected thousands of residents. Similarly, UP-RERA had issued a warning to developers regarding handing over incomplete flats, stating that transfer issues could arise without a valid OCCC. The fourth check is the approved building plan. The buyer should see whether the sanctioned plan of the building where the flat is located is approved by the local authority. Whether an extra floor is unauthorized, a balcony is an illegal extension, the parking area has been converted into a commercial space, or construction has been done in the common area. If the construction is different from the approved plan, problems like demolition notices, penalties, or regularization may arise in the future. Therefore, it is necessary to match the size, floor, tower, parking, and common area of the flat with the approved plan. The fifth check is of property tax and utility dues. Many buyers focus only on the sale price but forget old dues. If the seller has not paid property tax, the electricity bill is pending, water charges are outstanding, maintenance dues are left, or society charges are unpaid, pressure can come upon the buyer after possession. Therefore, it is necessary to get the latest paid receipts, no dues certificate, and society NOC before the sale deed. The buyer should also check in whose name the property is in the municipal records and what the status of mutation or namantaran is. The sixth precaution is an investigation of construction quality. The biggest advantage in a ready-to-move house is that you can see the actual structure. But the quality cannot be judged just by looking at the paint. Fresh paint can hide leakage, a false ceiling can hide cracks, and the shine of tiles can hide a plumbing issue. The buyer should check for seepage in the walls, bathroom slope, drainage, electrical wiring, water pressure, ventilation, sunlight, doors, windows, lifts, staircases, basements, and the condition of the parking. If the building is old, it is better to have an inspection done by a structural engineer. Many parts of North India and the Himalayan belt fall under seismic risk, so earthquake safety should not be taken lightly. If the property is in a multi-story building, an inspection of the structure, columns, beams, load-bearing changes, and basement condition can be done by a professional. Many people get happy looking at the interior, but real safety lies in the structure. Beautiful tiles and modular kitchens can be changed later, but a weak structure can put both the buyer's life and investment at risk. The seventh check is the location and the surrounding ecosystem. A home is not just the name of four walls, a home is part of that locality. The buyer should see how far the market is, and how accessible schools, hospitals, public transport, the main road, grocery stores, pharmacies, banks, ATMs, parks, and daily needs are. Many times a builder writes future development in the brochure, but on the ground, the road is incomplete, there are no street lights, the drainage is poor, and public transport is far away. In a ready-to-move property, there is the advantage that you can go at both day and night to see the real condition of the locality. Property should not be bought based on the confidence of online shopping and quick delivery. Many locations are sold in the name of the city, but actual delivery zones, cab availability, emergency access, and daily commute can be difficult. A buyer should also check weekday morning and evening traffic. A property that takes 20 minutes on a Sunday might take 1 hour on an office day. Buying a home is not just buying a flat, it is buying a daily life. The eighth precaution is an investigation of the Resident Welfare Association or society management. If there is an RWA in the society, talk to its members. How much are the maintenance charges? Is there a water problem or not? How is the security? What is the lift breakdown frequency? Is there a parking dispute or not? Does the common area stay clean or not? Has the builder handed over the amenities or not? Is there a sinking fund or not? These questions seem small, but after moving in, these decide the quality of daily life. In many ready societies, everything looks good from the outside, but a legal fight is going on inside between residents and the builder. A clubhouse was promised but not built. The swimming pool is not operational. The fire NOC is pending. The STP is not working. Water fills up in the basement. Maintenance is under the builder's control and charges are high. Therefore, do not rely solely on a sample flat or the words of a broker. Talking to existing residents can provide the most honest review. The ninth check is the RERA status. If the property is part of a project registered under the scope of RERA, check project details on the state RERA portal. Information like project registration, approvals, completion status, complaints, litigations, and promoter details can be found. The purpose of RERA is to increase transparency and provide protection to home buyers. Cross-checking property documents with the RERA portal and local authority records can serve as a safety layer for the buyer. The 10th precaution is the sale agreement and payment structure. Many buyers give token money in a hurry and understand the terms later. Verify property documents before giving a token and always make payments through a traceable banking channel. The agreement should clearly state property details: flat number, floor, carpet area, parking, possession status, fixtures, dues, seller responsibility, timeline, penalty and refund clause. Cash payment should be avoided because cash is neither safe nor sensible from a tax and legal angle. In a resale ready-to-move property, the buyer must see the original documents. Original sale deed, previous chain documents, share certificate if it's a cooperative society, possession letter, allotment letter, builder-buyer agreement, OC, CC, approved plan, tax receipts, utility bills, society NOC, no due certificate and identity documents. If the seller is not showing original documents and is saying they are in the bank, it is necessary to understand the official confirmation and loan closure process from the bank. One advantage of taking a bank loan is that the bank does its own legal and technical due diligence. But a buyer should not make the mistake of thinking that because the bank approved the loan, the property is 100% safe. The bank's due diligence is helpful, but the final responsibility lies with the buyer as well. Bank loan sanction and property ownership disputes are different things. Therefore, do not underestimate the value of an independent lawyer and technical inspection. Price comparison is also necessary for a ready-to-move property. What is the rate for similar flats in that same locality? At what price did a recent resale happen in the same society? What is the age of the property? Which floor is it? How are the facing, ventilation, parking, maintenance and amenities? If a property is available much cheaper than the market rate, the buyer should be even more careful. A very cheap deal can often be a signal of a hidden dispute, urgent loan pressure, document issues or illegal construction. The buyer should also verify the identity and authority of the seller. If the seller is an individual, basic details like PAN, address and marital status can be relevant. If the property is jointly owned, the consent and signature of all owners are required. If the seller is an NRI, the power of attorney must be valid, properly stamped, registered and specific. If the seller is a company, the board resolution, authorized signatory and company documents should be checked. Do not accept things like my brother is selling, my uncle is abroad, or there is a POA without verification. There is also an emotional trap while buying property. The broker says, "Sir, give the token today, someone else will take it tomorrow." The seller says, "I need money urgently, so I'm giving it cheap." The family likes the house, children choose their rooms, and the buyer makes a commitment without seeing the documents. This very haste is the biggest risk. In the property market, missing out on a good deal is not a loss. Getting stuck with a wrong deal is the real loss. One more thing should be checked in a ready-to-move property: the actual area versus the promised area. What is the carpet area? What is the built-up? What is the super built-up? And which area is written in the sale deed? Many buyers get happy seeing a large number, but the usable carpet area is less. RERA has made carpet area clarity important, but there is still confusion in the resale market. The buyer should have a physical measurement done or match the area with the approved plan. Fire safety and emergency access are also essential. Does the building have fire exits? Is fire equipment maintained? Is basement parking safe? Is the staircase clear or blocked by storage? Can an emergency vehicle enter? In a high-rise property, this question is not a luxury but safety. Many people look at interiors and views, but don't look at emergency systems. Later, that very negligence can be dangerous. If the property is in a gated society, understand the maintenance rules, pet rules, parking rules, renovation rules, and transfer charges. In many societies, there are transfer fees, membership fees, move-in charges, or other charges. Some societies have different rules for tenants and owners. The buyer should know all this beforehand so that there are no surprises after possession. Work doesn't end even after the final registration in a property purchase. After registration, it is essential to get the mutation, that is, the transfer of name in revenue or municipal records. Have the name changed in electricity, water, gas, and society records. Have the property tax account updated. If a loan has been taken, understand the bank mortgage record. Scan the documents properly and store them safely. These records are very useful for future resale, inheritance, loan top-ups, or legal verification. The biggest message of this entire story is that a ready-to-move property can be safer, but it is not automatically safe. There may be a higher risk of delay in under construction, but in ready property there can be a risk regarding title, approval, dues, and construction quality. Therefore, the buyer will have to look at the
If
house.
this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.